What up, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Jess. Welcome back to another Madden 22 video. Hopefully, you guys are doing fantastic. So, today, as you guys can see from the title, man, I really want to go on ahead and talk about an ability that nobody is using, nobody talks about, and it will change everything about how you run your defense. It changes everything about how they run their offense. It's going to dictate just different flow of the game. It just changes so much. And it's just something that's really overlooked. And I really don't think enough people are putting enough thought into making sure you find the AP to put this ability out on your field. Now, with the AP changes that came about, we went from, a little bit of AP all the way to 18, and that right there was massive, right? Being able to go from 14 to 18, and not only did we go from 14 to 18, everything got cheaper on defense. Nothing got more expensive. Inside stuff on linebackers went down. Inside stuff from run stopping ends went down. Edge threat elite went down. So many really good abilities went down. Inside deep zone from linebackers went down. Lurker went down across the board. The same with pick artists on linebackers and hackers. Like everything got cheaper. So when the day came, when the patch came out, as I dropped my controller, when the day came and we got the new APYs, you looked and you were 14 out of 18, right? Nothing got more expensive. Sometimes things get a little bit more expensive where you were 14 out of 14. Let's say you had Escape Artist, Pass Leader, Elite, Hot Rod Master. Oh yeah, that was different. when 1030 hit and that patch came out, your APYs were now 19 out of 14. You had to take away a bunch of stuff. But defensively, everything got cheaper. And the one ability that I really feel like you almost get for free is film study. Not a lot of people are talking about film study and how dominant of an ability it is. So, coming over from current gen, now mind you, I have the most Super Bowls win on current gen when it comes to squads. And so I played the game a lot, right? And I won a lot. The cocktail abilities I had there were just dominant. I was rocking edge threats and inside stuffs and all the different things I had. The defense was, I think I was giving up a little less than like 6 points a game on current gen. Like the defense was just very, very, very difficult to move the ball against. We had super pressure sent. It was insane. I came over to next gen and it took me a while. I'm talking about I was getting 30 put on my head for the first 2 weeks. It took me a while to understand the movement of the game, the spacing, how I need to not be flat footed, how I need to react to certain routes, how I need to make sure these abilities, I was trying everything I could. I went from blitzing heavy to create pressure. I went from seeing if I could create pressure by not sending so many people so I could have more in coverage. I tried a cocktail of many different things, and I feel like I've gotten great success in finding, what I really need to have out there on the field to be successful on next gen. It took me a while. It definitely took me a while. When I first joined next gen, I was giving up 20 points a game for about, I want to say, 2 to 3 weeks. Now, we're on an almost 40 game win streak. We got our points per game down to 9, which I think is very, very, very impressive, being able to give up that amount of points on next gen, where offense is so overpowered. It's so strong. It's so difficult to get a stop, especially in squads. Yeah, you have more users to help you, but you're also going up against more users. So there's a lot of things you just can't prepare for. Like on current gen, if someone, we call it a squiggle, where they don't really have a route combination in mind. They're not trying to drag, then cut up. They're not trying to, in out. They're not trying to do an in route, then stop. And, they literally just go left, right, just try to shake the user and just try to see if you'll bite on one of these weird moves that they're doing. And on current gen, it's very difficult to get away as a receiver from a user just doing squiggles, right? Because you're so fast on current gen. The makeup speed is insane. You're able to cover so much ground and make up so much ground with the speed you have. Where on next gen, if you fall for one squiggle, you're out of the play. That's it. If you just run a slant and I try to cut you up and you immediately stop and cut up, there's no way I'm making that up. It's just impossible. The movement speed on next gen is so slow where it's just impossible to cover a squiggle. If you don't preemptively jump that, if you don't read that he's just gonna break his route up or another direction, if you take one wrong step in the wrong direction, that's it. They're open. There's no way you can get back in coverage. It's tough. Covering here is tough. But one of the biggest changes that we were able to add to the team was film study, and it changes so much. And I really think everybody should be able to find this AP somewhere somehow. There's a couple things that I've learned on next gen that I feel like is you could do without. One of them being Acrobat. A lot of people love Acrobat. They love it. They love it, and I get it. It's a wild card ability. It doesn't work all the time. It's frustrating when it doesn't work. But when it does, oh my lord, it's absolutely glorious. You come out of nowhere, you snipe that bad boy, and you are so thrilled that you were able to get that interception, knowing that if you didn't have it, you were not able to go on ahead and make that same play. And after playing so many games with Acrobat and taking it off, I really feel like it's just not necessary. Because even though Acrobat is good, I feel like you can use that elsewhere. And so, we got a clip here. We're gonna go on ahead and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So this right here is a clip of us playing literally yesterday, right? And we're playing a tough game. We're going up against Escape Artist. Now, Escape Artist is the most overpowered thing in the history of Madden. There's not a single player ability. There's nothing more. 10 years from now, when we bring up the most dominant things in the history of Madden, 04 Vic is always going to be number one, right? That just is what it is. He was Escape Artist before Escape Artist came out. Number two, Madden 22 Escape Artist. You can't convince me otherwise. Yes, even way, way more effective than Active Dickerson, which a lot of people have as like their most OP thing, which I think is false, because even though it was tough to handle, there were times where you were able to get him in the backfield after one play and literally it's done, right? Literally it's done. There's just no more. He's out the play. He's out the game. He's no longer active. Or you can get him unactive after the first quarter and then he's just human again and you don't really have to deal with it. Now, there were some games where you were unable to get him in the backfield once. And the few times you were able to get to him, he broke the tackle and at least got to the line of scrimmage and stayed active. Those games were frustrating. But we definitely had those games where, boom, just like that, unactive after one play, didn't have to worry about it. Escape Artist is here every single play. Escape Artist is the most overpowered thing you have to deal with in Madden 22 on next gen. It's insane. I will have 100 speed spy Micah Parsons. Now, mind you, in squads, we double stack. We have 50 out of 50 Cowboys. So we're getting an additional +2 speed on top of what we already have. And if you take a look, speed is going to cap at 100. So if I highlight Micah Parsons or Pollard or, any of the Dion is going to say speed 100. But let's just say whatever. Let's just say 99 speed. Max is 99 speed. We have a 99 speed, 99 acceleration Micah Parsons. I'll put him in a spy. And the way Escape Artist just completely runs away from him makes it look like the quarterback has 90 speed and my Micah Parsons has 65. He has no chance of being able to keep up. So these guys have Escape Artists, and it's frustrating. It's very, very, I feel like we have a very good, decent job. We do a very good, decent job against Escape Artists. But there's only so much you can do, right? Now, I've been in Baltimore playbook pretty much this whole year. I feel like Dime 236 has the best contains in the game because when you spread your linebackers, they go further out than they do in any other formation in the game. You're literally unable to double team them. And when the contains work, they're phenomenal. The issue is with next gen, the same way I've been seeing people complain all year on Twitter and, on streams. Of course, I didn't deal with that because I was on current gen. I understand why. The contains are absolutely terrible. One play, they absolutely do what they're supposed to do. The next three, they don't do anything. But let's just take a look at this play right here. We're actually losing 3-0 now. This was played yesterday. You see we're on a streak. I didn't play 39 games after this game. We ended up winning this game. But let me just show you the impact of what film study is able to do. Right now, we come out on defense, and we set contains up, and we notice film study is active here, and we take a look at his entire play arc. Now, this is why it's so important. A lot of people would just be like, well, if they're running the same play over and over, you're pretty much going to know what they're going to do anyways. There's no real need to see it. You don't understand the type of advantage this is having on your defense. You don't understand that you get to see every literal adjustment. If he blocks somebody, if he puts them on a smoke screen, and no matter what it is he does, we're going to be able to see. Right? So right here we see he has a double post concept on the right. He has a wheel route from his tight end. He has an in route from his running back. And he has a drag from his wide receiver. Now here, we can collectively talk about what it is we're going to do, what we can attack, what we're going to take away. Okay, you guard this running back, you guard the tight end, I'm going to guard this and that. Now, obviously, because this is squads, just because you see a route, that doesn't mean that is what's going to happen. Because let's say on the far right is you see that post, right? If a user is running that, he can just streak up the field. And if I'm just going on ahead and sitting on the inside thinking it's going to be a post route and it's a user, he can just run right by me.
Supper's ready, my loves.
As you just found out, supper is ready. All you guys are invited. She didn't just send that to me. She sent that to you guys. All you guys are invited. Today's pasta. So on the far right, you see we have a post. And, as soon as the ball is hiked, I got to see where the users are, right? So if the ball is hiked and there's a user on the left, a user on the running back, and then I know that the two routes to the right and the tight end route, those are going to be ran how the play art's shown, right? So I can't tell you how many times this has won us games because we get to see every literal adjustment. Not only do we get to see adjustments, I can adjust to what it is they're doing. Now, we played up against someone, his name was Quentz, right? Who's very, very, very tough to deal with. He runs 5 wide, and he was killing us with this smoke screen, right? He would come out and he called the same play. He's killing us with the smoke screen. So what it is I would do is the right D tackle, I would put Parsons there because in dime 2-3-6 you can put linebackers at D tackle and you can actually put them on flat. So I would put them on a hard flat just to guard the smoke screen. Now when film study was up, I was able to see whether it was a smoke screen or whether he streaked them. So I would adjust accordingly. If I seen he had that guy in the far right on the smoke screen, that's his check down. That's his bailout option. As everything is covered, he wants to go to that smoke screen. I would go on ahead and I'll put Parsons on a hard flat. If I'd look and he didn't have a smoke screen on the field, then I'll just go on ahead and I'll let Parsons rush or I'll main him up to the running back or I'll put him in a vert hook. At that point, I can go on ahead and adjust accordingly because I know for sure there's no smoke screen on the right. Now, this right here is also key because let's say it doesn't become active, right? Obviously, this is the third time he called this play within the same quarter. If you guys are unfamiliar with film study, it shows the entire play art anytime a play is called 3 times or more in the same quarter. So in the third quarter, it refreshes. He could come out and call this same play twice. We're not going to see the play art. But on the third time, we're going to see it. So this means that he called this play at minimum twice, right? Let's say he comes out in the same formation and film study is not active. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? You guessed correctly. That means he has not called that play. Because if he did, we would be able to see it. So this right here really affects the offense as well. I can't tell you how many times we've played people and they notice it's active because they look and they see a big film over there on the top of the D on the far left. And they'll just immediately change the play. They're like, okay, we don't want them to see the play, all the adjustments. We're just going to go on ahead and change it. That's such a huge advantage that will literally win you games. Yes, they're going to be calling the same play over and over again, but I have a motto that you should never lose to anybody where film study does not come up. Any good player is going to call the same offensive about 3 to 6 plays, right? No one really should have 17 different plays they're going to be calling. That's just too many plays. You're just not going to be in a rhythm. Any good player you look, you're going to see the same crossers, the same beaters, the same this and that because it works. Everybody, think about it. Your offense, let's say somebody had film study against you. What would you do to defend that, right? Obviously, you want to call different plays, right? Like if it was used against me, I call the same 3 or 4 plays. I'd be shook. I'd be shook. I would go out my way to make sure I don't activate it. And that right there is taking away from my offense because I would want to run the same 2 or 3 plays that I always love calling. And we can't tell you how many times people come out and they start running the ball, and now we know it's a run. We run commit dead, or it's a bubble. Now, okay, for this time it's for sure. Worry about the bubble. We'll worry about the run. Okay, he called the bubble twice. It's not showing up. We don't have to worry about the bubble. You want to use that to your advantage. He didn't call it again because if he did, this would have been the third time and we would have been able to recognize it. This ability alone, I promise you, fine, please listen to Unc. I'm not going to do you wrong. Find a way to get this on your field. You will. It just changes how everything is played. Now, he does take off for a huge gain right here. Well, not a huge gain. He ends up settling for 3. And I think this was the only points he ended up getting. Because, again, dealing with the escape artists is tough. They're so fast. They're so fast. And it's not easy, but we did a good job. My memory serves me correctly. I think we held him to a field goal one more time, and we ended up winning, I think, 14-9 or something like that. But we did, end up winning. But even if he doesn't call this play anymore where film study isn't coming up, now we know in our mind, okay, when it comes up, this is what it is he likes to do. Notice the running back wasn't on a route. Now he puts him on an in route. So now we know, okay, whenever he calls this play, even though we don't show it, he's probably going to have the same route combinations, right? There's a couple things he's probably going to change, but, we got to try and prepare for the couple things he's going to change, right? You take a look, and his users are on the tight end and on the far left. He obviously wants that double post concept because those are beaters crossing over to the far left. If he can roll out and have them over the top, that's what he's going to look for. So right now we know, okay, he's on the tight end. He's on the receiver on the left. He's on the tight end and on the receiver on the left. And then, we got to worry about the 2 posts. We got to worry about the running back and stuff like that. We can go on ahead and take that stuff away. So I promise you, get this right. This ability alone, once the AP changed, my defense went to a whole nother level. Because now everybody that's calling the same amount of plays, if they want to, sneak a couple inside zones out of shotgun, yeah, you can do that a couple times. But now, that third time, we know it's coming, right? Now we can go on ahead and just adapt to that completely. Or if you just call it twice, you cannot call it the rest of the quarter. And I know you're not going to call it no more because the second you do, I'm going to be able to see it. So we use that in our advantage as well. I promise you, man, like this whole defense on next gen is so tough. It's not easy. It is not easy, but I feel like we found a defense to send great pressure to be able to, maximize our coverage, to be able to be successful in coverage, to be able to limit the amount of time they have to be able to find somebody in that coverage, and to be able to prevent them from continuously calling the same play over and over and over again without us being able to see every single Terry adjustment. So, like we take a look and our average pass again. Now, mind you, I don't blitz. We just really sit in the cover 2. We rely on our defensive abilities and pressure to work in our favor. Kind of like a don't work hard, work smart kind of thing. And I did the route of sending pressure. I've been there, done that, sending a lot of people, try to get them to get rid of the ball quickly. But, we just went to a completely another level when I decided to just just experiment, find the right abilities to go ahead and be successful with creating a lot of pressure without sending more than 4 people. You take a look in our sacks per game are 217, and if you take a look in the top 100, we're top like 15 or 20 or so. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'd be number 7 in the top 100 if I was able to play enough games and get there. Now this is without blitzing. This is no double A gap. This is no 3-3-5 wide hovering. This is just pure coverage sacks, and film study has a lot to do with that. And tomorrow we're going to have another video talking about the abilities that I feel like if you want to just sit in more coverage, be able to create pressure, and be able to be more successful while covering routes, because sending pressure is good. It is good. You want to go on ahead and limit the amount of time they have to find somebody open, get sacks. But the problem is, whenever you get beat with quick pressure, it's usually very hurtful. It's big plays because if you do a cover zero and all that, when it doesn't work in your favor. If they pick up the blitz and have enough time and beat somebody over the top, it's tough. So we're gonna go on ahead and talk about the abilities that we feel like, again, nobody else really uses or talk about, that's so dominant and you really need to have on your field. Step one, film study will change everything about how you play defense. It is going to change how they attack you on offense. Because, if I look and I see they got film study, well, I can call Owen Trap a couple times, but that third time you're going to see it. There's no sneaking it by you. You're literally going to see every time I want to try and run the ball. Or if I have a go-to play, you're going to see every single Terry adjustment. You're going to see whether I block my tight ends because I feel like you're sending pressure. You're going to see whether I'm going to leave them out. So now you can go on ahead and, put coverage to, stop that route or send pressure because I got no extra blocking protection. It changes everything. And you can get it for damn near free. Whenever the day dropped with the abilities, we all had 14 AP. We were given 4 extra AP. You can just lose 1 more AP, get film study, and it changes everything. It's your boy Jess. We're going to go on and be signing out, man. Appreciate the love and support as always. Until next time. Peace.